Hey, this is Tyler with the In the Lead Show by Easy Agent Pro. In this episode of In the Lead, we're going to answer your questions about conversions, copywriting, and what you can do to boost the number of leads you have that turn into clients. But before we get into this episode, Ask Kai is sponsored by Lead Sites. Today, the talk is all about conversions. And really, unless you're going to spend tons of time writing blog content, making videos, and optimizing your site for converting all that traffic into leads, you should really check out Lead Sites. You can find it at easyagentpro.com/leadsites. We'll link it up in the YouTube video and on the podcast. You can check it out there. It'll help you accomplish everything from building trust with your readers to boosting the number of visitors that actually click through to get to your landing pages. Check it out today if you're interested in boosting your conversions. So I've really been enjoying the questions coming in. I know we're sort of in the dog days of summer, getting out into the fall season where sales sort of pick up. But keep them coming. If you want your questions answered on the Ask Kai show, be sure to check out easyagentpro.com/ask. We get questions there daily, but submit yours there, and if it's good and if it's something that we can make an interesting show with, we'll definitely put it on the show, and your name and website will be featured on the site. So keep the questions coming there. And today we're going to tackle a question brought to us from Top Producer by Colin. He works a lot with CRMs, obviously, at Top Producer, and so CRMs generally revolve around this topic of conversions and copywriting. And his question was this: I'm wondering if you have any content handy on cracking the conversion code. You've got two agents. John converts his leads at 1%. Richard is converting his leads at 5%. What does Richard know that John doesn't? What does Richard do that John doesn't? This is a very, very complex question with a lot of moving parts there. One could say, John has, just started. Richard is in the business longer, has more referrals, spends more time at work, has different values. So to make this sort of equal and make it more interesting for you, I'm going to assume that these guys both have been in the business the same amount of time, that they both are generally getting the same number of leads, that they're able to follow up with all the leads effectively. They're not generating like 600 leads and it's just them trying to follow up. They're actually able to do all the tasks they need to. And then we're going to tackle and see what they can be doing, how they can be doing it better, and how all of this integrates. So as a starting point, we're just going to eliminate all those random variables that, hey, maybe John has like 600 leads getting into him each month and he only wants to convert 1%, and Richard, as a small business and it's just his friends and family, so he's able to convert it at 5%. We're going to eliminate that type of discussion from this because it's really not going to be useful to go down that road. And I'm going to show you the concrete things you can do, you can take away to boost your conversions through copywriting, through things you do, through things you say, through the just the mentality you bring to this side of your business, to actually boost what you do. Because really at the end of the day, and I'll link this up in the show notes, there are only 4 things you can do to boost your business. You can get more leads, you can convert more of those leads to clients, you can get more of them coming back to you, or you can increase the average transactional value, right? So say you're doing, $200,000 houses right now on average, you can boost that to $350 on average, right? And that would boost your revenue. So those are the only 4 things you can do. So this is a really important topic because it's 1/4 of the way to boost your business. If you're terrible at this, if you're converting at 1% or 0.5%, in all you do is focus on those other 3 ways, it really isn't going to make a huge change in what you're doing in your business. So let's get in and let's tackle this. The first thing I want to express to you is that I really don't believe in copywriting. You can go read, you can find 15, 20 really advanced blogs that talk in depth about, different tactics, different formulas, different ways to go about writing copy. And maybe it's just because I'm terrible at following those ways, but every time I see someone follow those methods, they go down the ultra spammer route. They like forget that they're talking to humans, and they take these formulas and they put them into their email, and then all of a sudden they're sending out these just really spammy emails. And so what I like to tell agents to focus on instead is that you should take any sort of copywriting mentality that you want, and just run it through one simple lens. Does what I'm saying provide value to a real person? Not some stick figure, not something you've made up in your head, not someone who hypothetically would find you useful and use your services. Does what you're saying provide more value to someone that's real, breathing, and human than what you're asking in return, right? That's copywriting at its core, is providing that value in excess of what you're asking. That's what copywriting is in essence. And so all this complex stuff is really just muddying the waters and getting rid of that core gem of what copywriting is in real estate. And that's what I want to run this whole conversation through. So we have 3 points, like we usually do on these Ask Ty episodes. We try to break it down into 3 simple things. We're going to go over the basics, the mentality you should have, and then we're going to dive into some actual concrete details that you can take away. So the basics. So the basic things that can make John convert at 1% and then Richard convert at 5% with the same type of leads, it's follow-up. Okay, are you texting these people right away? Are you calling them right away? Are you then emailing them? Are you following up every day for 2 weeks and then following up once a week for 6 months? Right? That type of dedication and mixing that up and making that a manual outreach. I really don't believe in automation for this stuff. I believe in automatically reminding yourself to write a personal email. That is the difference that makes up for most of this, right? We can talk about philosophies of what those emails should say, but if you're sending 5x more content, more touch points to your leads than other agents, you're going to win. Right? You've set you up for 5 times more chances to convert those leads, right? You're going to win at the end of the day, at the end of the month, at the end of the year, if you take your leads and follow up with them through some structured formula, right? So the thing I like is contacting them twice via phone the first day, and text is included in that. So you get the lead, you call them twice that day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon, and then once a day after that, supplementing with texts, emails, and social. Social is a really creative tool that you can use in real estate now. You can find most of these people on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, engage with them, boost that, get them over to the phone, right? It's a really cool tool to boost engagement. And don't be all spammy with it, provide value. Remember what we started this conversation with. All these messages should be providing value. So that's the basics. Like, do you have a structured system so that if I, Tyler, come to you in wherever you are today, in Cincinnati, Ohio, in San Diego, and give you a lead, is there a playbook? Do you have a playbook that you can say, okay, I'm going to call them now, call them this afternoon, I'm going to call them every day after that. Here are my general scripts I use for all those calls. Here's the information I'm trying to get out of. Here's my process. Do you have that playbook set up? Right? Setting that up is the first thing you can do to get that over the hump. And then after a month of that, measuring your responses and fine-tuning your emails. But like, just set up your playbook. That's the first thing you can do that will get you the biggest increase in those results, right? So second point, let's start talking about that copywriting thing, right? So you're probably like, okay, Tyler, that's great. I have a playbook. I'm going to call them twice today and then once a day. But like, what should I say? And the thing I want you to really focus on instead of copywriting is, why should they pick up the phone for you? Why should a random lead that I were to gift to you in Cincinnati, Ohio, pick up the phone because you're calling them? Are you the best realtor for the neighborhood they're looking in? Have you automatically just daily attended a meeting or shown up at an association that they're really, really attached to? Are you a dog fanatic and they're a dog fanatic? Are you is it a referral lead that, you have a really close relationship and so they're picking it up that way? Do you write helpful blog content? Back to the lead site thing, like, there are helpful blogs posted 2 times a week on your site that then convert random visitors that visit your site from Zillow who are trying to find the best realtor out of 3, and they judge you all because of your website and how much value you provide, right? That's scenario that's played out like 1,000 to 100,000 times per day, right? Buyers are looking for representation. They go to Zillow, they look at reviews, they look at the top 3 agents, they look at all their websites, whatever one helps them the most, they contact them, they do business with them. right? How are you providing value above and beyond what they're expecting through the real estate transaction in order to deserve their business? Are you the neighborhood expert? Do you have like 10 blogs about the neighborhood they want to live in that's more useful than Yelp? Right? Like, are you that useful to them that they just reach out and want to do business with you? That is how you boost lead conversion, and that's what can make someone like Richard perform 5 times better than John, is because Richard's leads, say they both have 200 leads, Richard's leads know that John's the expert and just has a bunch of free value about this, so they're going to pick up the phone because they've already read and established a relationship. John's leads, they looked at his stock broker website and like, oh, there's nothing, there's just the listings. I'm going to go back to Zillow, right? If you're just the listings online, if you're just an online presence and no referrals, just an online presence, and they haven't seen you at a local association or something, they don't care, right? There's nothing that makes them emotionally care about who you are and why they should do business with you. And that's just going to kill your conversion ratio. It's no longer about being the first to contact them, the first to text them, they can get those people to contact them any time of day, right? Someone out there is contacting people after 10. Not me, but someone is. And then they can find that person, right? So that's one angle you can take, and you should do that. But on top of that, what makes them pick up the phone and want to engage with you? That's how you go from converting just a plain 2 to 5% to 10 to 15%. That's how you get to that next level, is giving real concrete value. And it's really in defining a niche, in defining who you are and who your clients are. And just to make this super duper clear, point 3 is make this real. I want you to find a real person that you are really going to help, right? So you don't go out there and you don't create some straw figure in your head and say, okay, Sally likes to, attend this neighborhood association meeting, and so I'm going to market to all these people like Sally 1, Sally 2, Sally 2, Sally 4, and I'm going to convert them because I'm the expert in this, right? That was all hypothetical. Realtors do this all the time. They're like, oh, I'm going to get on page 1 for XYZ neighborhood, and then everyone's going to do business with me, and I'm going to, have 20,000 people following me on social media, and I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do that, and meanwhile, it's all hypothetical. They don't know how to do any of it, and they aren't going to do any of it. You need to find one real person that you can help reach out with today, make a relationship with, and then duplicate that tomorrow. And if you do it in a way that has a 1-to-many ratio, but you're doing it as a 1-to-1 thing, that's where lead conversion happens, right? If you're going to a neighborhood association meeting to do business with David, and you do that, not only are you doing something that's real, that's going to help your David relationship, but it's going to spread to everyone else who's like David. But if you do the opposite and try to attract all the Davids, you're not going to attract anyone. If you write blogs for one person specifically for their question, you're going to help that person and a ton of other people. If you write generic content, you end up with a bunch of Me Too content that's meaningless and no one cares about. You can do this for every single marketing and lead gen activity, and if you apply this mentality to it, it's really going to be the difference between being in business in 5 years and not being in business in 5 years. You can really point at every top producer, every single mega agent, anyone who's been successful in this business and almost in any business, and say they're in business because of X, and X is something that's really, really specific at the heart of it. And that's what matters in real estate, right? It's actually helping people and not living in a pipe dream world. A pipe dream agent will go dream about ranking on Google, dream about Facebook fans, dream about having 10 sellers agents picking up the phone, doing all the dialing for them, and dream that they're already seeing success. And a reality-based agent will do something today that's 1-to-1 that actually has echo effects that are 1-to-many. They'll help one person in real life, knowing that that one helpful thing that'll be helpful for that one person will actually spread to many people and give them returns in the future, so that tomorrow they can do another 1-to-1 thing that actually has many benefits. Does that make sense? So if you found this video useful, share it, post it to all your realtor friends, like it. You can find it on YouTube, on iTunes, on Stitcher. Subscribe at all those places. Please do that. Plus up the video on YouTube if you're there. I also really encourage you to submit your questions. You can send emails to me at tyler@easyagentpro.com. Another really useful tool is easyagentpro.com/ask. You can submit your questions there. This episode of Ask Ty has been sponsored by Lead Sites. If you're interested in Lead Sites at all, go to easyagentpro.com/lead sites. Check it out. And I want to leave you with the motivational quote of the day. And today's quote is, "Real people convert to clients better than stick figures." If you have a bunch of stick figure leads, you're going to have zero lead conversion. You might have 1%. You can always find a stick figure to buy a house from you. But if you focus on helping real people, marketing to real people, making real relationships and real relationships that you've actually contributed something to, you're going to provide value that will give dividends to you in the future. So I hope you found this useful. Check out the blog. I'll link up some helpful resources to actually help you do these things and make it even real, whether that's blogging or cold calling, making real value happen for real people. I'm Tyler with Easy Agent Pro. Like the video, share it with all your friends. See you next time.